it begs to understand actually what kind of a leadership style he has employed. Because as you rightly say, we've had different communications from same government officials. Even him himself, he's come out to denounce or rather downplay any statement from the Deputy President. Remember during the round table when he was asked about a statement from the Deputy President regarding abductions, and he said, I'm the one who speaks for the government. And you see, this is your deputy. So there's been a lot of conflicting messages from the same administration, and the buck stops with him. I opine that he ought to have orchestrated a better communication system from the onset of his formation of his government. And just to take us a little bit back, as Hesbon has said, regarding his ascent to presidency, and now the high expectation and hope that we had as Kenyans, which were domiciled on the manifesto. And you know, the manifesto, rather the plan, was a promissory note that these are the things I'm going to deliver to you as Kenyans. Largely, he was elected based on the fact that he was a deputy president who seems to be saying, during now the campaign season, he was agitating that more would have been done had we worked in a better formula in the previous regime. So we gave him a chance, you know, among other considerations. We gave him a chance. So hopes were very high. And people expected that once he ascends to office, he'll be able to at least form an administration that listens to the people, that addresses the needs of the people, that revises the public policy to fit the immediate needs that we are contending with. More so, the cost of living, that was number one. Furthermore, also electoral justice, because that's something we have to contend with every 5 years. Remember, this NADCO also came up as a result of that. So there were a lot of expectations, there was a lot of hope. But where he failed largely was that upon getting into office, the hubris, as this has become a very common name now, of his associates grew louder. And Kenyans started to now wonder, what are we really dealing with here? Do we have a president who is really in authority, or is he being held hostage by his friends who can say anything at any time and nothing happens? But we gave him time, you know, we extended him some grace, which seems to have expired. And Kenyans have been right through and through, because remember, in this first X meeting, and I opine there shall be others, because this call for 150 multi-sector will not happen. If you're not meeting on X, there is no need to meet. During this first X meeting, the president himself said, I have called, and he quoted the nominated Senator, Karen Nyamu, the majority leader, the chair of the finance committee, the Kimani Kuria. I've called them and tried to engage them on change of, how you communicate. Basically, he was talking about communication 101. If you're in a position of leadership, there is the way you need to disseminate your information. There is a way you need to engage the public. But we seem to have had a Kenya Kwanza administration that says, we are here to tell you, period. It does not work like that. You cannot have a soliloquy where you're talking to yourself and just want people to receive whatever you are, sending out. Therefore, even how we move on from this point, and this is why you see people are saying we are not interested in a dialogue anymore. We have listened enough, we have tried to talk to you enough, we just need action. You know what we want. Dissolve the cabinet, done. There is a call, like once the National Assembly resumes, change the House leadership. We want decent leadership. We want people who know how to communicate to the country. Even as we move on from this point, it is very, very paramount for the president to know how is he best going to continue engaging Kenyans. How is he best going to, for the time that he'll be in office. Because the day before yesterday, he was in Kajiado, and he was talking about people having to wait until 2027. And somehow, the concept that you don't get it comes into play. This is not about election now. We're talking about our development agenda. We're having an economic moment where we need to talk about our revenue, our own source revenue as a nation, and about our expenditure, our wage bill. These are things we need to revise. So he needs to look for people